What is up, guys? We got a first place deck profile here at an 8-man pod here at the YCS Sacramento. Here he was able to look through various lists online for the Twilight build, and here he is in the flesh. He was able to win his first place spot. So how do you feel right now?
Pretty solid. I mean, I wanted to play something fun that was way more up my alley because I played Twilight. I've always been a Lightsworn player on and off throughout the years, and mostly in the next format up, the Tengu plant format. I played a lot of it there. As soon as we got Raiden, played a bunch of it, and
yeah, right. That's half format. Raiden.
Yeah.
Okay.
That format, and always played Chaos throughout the years, even when I started when I was a really little kid. So
yeah, there's a big fan club of the Twilight, especially Twilight. So you'll definitely give them some material.
Team Edward.
Yeah. Check it out.
All right, cool. So Slimmer Glimmer is what I mainly base this off of. I went through a bunch of different people's stuff, but there's only a couple of different numbers that were up in the air for some things, but most of what he said sounded right. So Boss Monsters, 2JD, Staple, Dark Arm Dragon, Chaos Sorcerer. I kind of look at all of these the same, and I feel like Chaos Sorcerer is the most powerful of all of these. While it doesn't do as game-breaking things as these, it's comes out the smoothest. It either pushes for game damage, which just stack OTKs very quickly. Even before we started the side event, I was testing versus my buddy on Dragon Turbo, and I OTK'd him 5 games in a row. And it was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But these are 4 boss monsters, going nowhere, always part of this deck. Next 2 are Gores and Trag. Just battle hand traps, staple. They're darks, they feed the Dark Arm and Sorcerer. And then the other couple hand traps on the deck, 2 Crows. Card felt amazing. It did really well in my 3rd game against Christia Sworn. And what else? I got it was really good just to be able to just pitch it and become turn Dark Arm live on a whim. It was pretty sweet. 2 Honest, always a staple. The Lightsworn monsters, I didn't agree with this, but I decided to just go with what everybody else was doing from the majority. Basically, watched through 5 different deck profiles, and I was like, all right, cool. I guess I'll just jam the 3. I do think 3 can feel like too many often, but I did like how easy it made sideboarding when you're just cutting spell and trap hate. Yeah. So it was pretty smooth there, and I love a smooth sideboarding plan because I mainly play Magic, and when you can board in and out very easily to short matchups, I love it. So just jam the 3 in the main deck.
What would you take out? Would you take Lila out going forward? Would you play another Lightsworn name?
I was thinking about putting Gale the Whirlwind over this thing.
Okay, yeah.
So you can, and then moving around the extra deck to fit an Arcanite Magician and stuff like that. Gale solos a lot of problematic things like Kokimaru Drago kills Reaper, whatever. It's I don't know. I think it was just my matchups ended up being pretty sweet where this card was relevant a lot.
Right.
Because I played against round 1. I played against Gravekeepers, which actually was pretty tough. What's the Royal Tribute?
Yeah,
eating
Tribute
almost your entire hand. It's pretty rough. But they just set a bunch of back row, and I was able to just keep tapping Lilas and popping things, and it was there was a sequence of the game where they were on the play. They didn't have a bottomless. They had just combat-based traps, and there's Lila, eat 1. Next turn, summon Lila, eat another 1. Next turn, put back to attack mode, eat the 3rd one. It was so good. So and then I played against Gladiator Beast, where it was also very good too. Yeah. So there's a sequence where I just figured they had some the counter trap chariots. So booked their monster, summon, ate the thing, and sure enough it was a chariot. And then summon more boss monsters and just went off just not scared of chariot anymore. It was pretty sweet.
Very cool.
One ofs, Celestia and Wolf. These cards are always a pair. I really wanted to play more Wolves, so that could have been a swap out for the Lila. But it just so happened that I milled it and summoned it every single game, and just loves me like that. So blessed. So I only needed 1. And then the rest of the one-ofs are these, and then the Honorary Light Sworn. This card, I think Slimmer Glimmer was on a second one of these, and I could also see the Lila turning into a second one of these.
Yeah.
This card was nuts. I got Gladiator Beast into a couple spots where I just shooted their monster and left them with like targetable or targeting like spell and traps, but I couldn't do anything. Hand was dead, and that was pretty sweet. And milling 2 is worse than 3, but I think that is actually. I think the Lila turns into this.
Yeah.
And then Trooper's just great.
Very cool.
A couple extra dark monsters, one Kaya, so it makes I thought it should have been a second Celestia, but they were just right. Slimmer Glimmer's list, I believe, was 1-1 split.
Yeah.
Perfect number of darks to help your dark arm, and then banishing problematic things is always good too. So
okay, cool.
Pretty good. Everybody is correct on this. 1-1-1 split of these is just amazing.
Okay.
I almost played double roar this, but then the Mirror Force, they never expect it, like everybody says. And you just 2-for-1 everybody. Okay. It's really good. Only spell and trap hate that isn't Lila is Heavy Storm. I didn't play MST. Brain Control. Double Monster Reincarnation. This card was amazing. I had to go hunt this common one down.
Yeah, that's tough.
From a vendor to play it because you can't play. Was it the trap? Beckoning Light?
Beckoning Light, yes.
Can't play Beckoning Light because you're running too many dark monsters. So this thing is perfect. And moving around 2 spots in the graveyard, whether like adding a dark or like removing a dark, is really good. This card like super enables Dark Arm Dragon. It's like really good. Of course. And then just the consistency spells, charges, recharge, and allure.
Yeah, no Gold Sark in the main deck.
No Gold Sark in the main deck. I really liked being able to just like not have things that wanted you to slow down the game, because like Lightsworn can play out like a mid-range game, like setting Rykos and popping things and tributing, and but also like I feel like this adding the extra boss monsters for like playing Twilight really lets you put 8,000, like assign 8,000 damage to an opponent. Is really cool. So I didn't want to play any wait 2 turns things.
Got it. Okay. Did you find that you were breaking on some given games? Did you drop any games at all in the pod?
Yes, I dropped absolutely one game, only one game, but it was the most hilarious amalgamation of like bricks in my hand. Yeah. It was a 4-card hand. I was 600 life points, had a Gores.
Yeah.
I had 3 Light Sworns with a JD.
Right.
I had 4 Darks with a Dark Arm Dragon.
Oh no.
And I had a Recharge with no Light Sworn.
You just needed one. You just needed one card.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I even like at one point like was like trying to unbrick it, like summon Card Trooper, like crash, trying to draw anything out of it.
Right.
And I was dead. That was the only game though.
Yeah, you tried.
Yeah.
Let's go to your side deck.
Side deck is 2 Cyber Dragons. I thought this was pretty good against Machina, and you can also like run over Siroko's with it. Right. It kind of is like another Mystical Space Typhoon theoretically, because like if they have like a hate piece on the field that's live, they can't let it die in combat, so they like it forces bottomless trap hole or a deep prison or something. And then like there was often times where I brought these in and like went exactly about it with that in mind, where it worked out perfect, where you just commit 1 Cyber Dragon, force their cards, and then main phase 2 play your rest of your game. Yeah, it's like very good. This card is nuts, and I think this card should be in the main deck. I went for a really neat play with this card, play that didn't work out, where in the finals I played against Christia Lightsworn, and they just went Lila, Mill 3, pass. One of them was a Necrogardener, which this is turns that off. So I went in for it, just like Yugimoto slammed the card, but they had the honor, so like punished there, but it would have been really sweet. But this card's super good, and I really love the way that it turns off Miracle Fusion too, while it just sits on the table. Yeah, super good, and clearly good against Vayu. And then more anti-dark things. This is also, well, this is anti-dark, anti-Blackwing, but this is very good against frogs as well.
Got it.
Pretty good. And then a couple spells. Book was pretty good. My body's a shield. I guess a little more context for these. I also have the Royal Decrees. So like I like being able to bring in a couple of quick play spells to still have interaction with the opponent under the decree.
Under the decree, yeah.
And people played a few different things like Thunder Kings and stuff, but I felt like this suite was just better than everything.
Got it.
This was like a really like 50-50, maybe even less percentage, like ending up in people's sideboards. But I really like the idea of stealing a hamster and flipping it and getting a Raikou. So it's pretty good too. So, and then the MST for the extra back row hate. This thing clears Dragos and Christias and everything else. And then 2 Decrees is just good, almost a staple, I'd say, in any deck that's trying to resolve Judgment Dragon and stuff like that. They also turn your Lilas into just like free roam, just mowing down cards in the back row. And then 1 Torrential Tribute. I brought it in against, I don't know, I wanted to bring it in when I was on the draw against really aggressive things. Or, yeah, and it worked out every time. Like GB's committed to the table after a Test Tiger thing, blew everything up. Mainly it was intended for like not falling too far behind like the Blackwing decks or Vayu Turbo.
I see.
So just like something a little more defensive.
Nice.
But yeah, everything there is super good. Sideboard, I wouldn't change a single thing.
You played Brain Control in your main deck again?
I did. I played 1 copy of Brain Control.
Remember now. Okay. All right. Cool.
So that's a side deck, and then nothing crazy about this. The extra was the Chimera to pair with the Cyber Dragons, 4, 5s. This thing was sweet. It didn't come up, but I love being able to, like I said, like assign lethal damage to an opponent. This did come up where I assembled like Xaxes, like no matter what. So opponent had like Necro Garden on the table, and I synchroed into this and like had 3 attackers, and no matter what, like the 4,500 damage was like being assigned because of being able to like pitch the rest of my hand and throw it at him. It was pretty good.
Right.
And Brio, Goyo. One weird thing was there was only 1/7. A lot of people were only playing 1/7. It felt wrong, but in gameplay you don't go into the extra all that much, and I guess you don't go into 7s all that common. It felt fine. The only thing I kind of wanted to put in was the Ancient Fairy to be able to go into a 7 while you have like Consecrated Light out and stuff like that, so like doesn't get punished or whatever. Yeah. But I mean, you can still go into this, but I don't like wasting it. Like having the Wrath effect on the board just sitting there, like, is so good. And the 8s are the staples.
Yeah.
I didn't play the Parshath. I wanted to play the Parshath, but I figured like if I get into a random situation where like I pop a bunch of Dandelion tokens on Red Dragon Archie, it's like gonna be worth it. Yeah. Or like kill a few frogs. And then 1 of Mistworm. Mistworm actually was a part of my final push for game in the last game versus Christian Sworn. So it's like cleared the table, assigned 6,000 damage, and was like, yeah. So it was pretty good.
Okay, nice.
But yeah, shout out Slimmer Glimmer, and I guess my buddy Gerald from work for getting me into playing this old retro format. Because,
how do you like Edison so far?
Edison it felt way more balanced at first, but the more that I play it, it feels like Raikou is way too overpowered for this format. I like playing Raikou though, so I'm not gonna be mad about it. So whatever, I'll just play the Raikou decks and enjoy it. But I do think I'm gonna keep playing Raikou decks and then probably mess around with Tengu format next.
Nice.
But yeah. Shout out my team. I'm founder of Team Limit Break. We play professional level Magic, travel a lot for that stuff, and I was starting to teach everybody a little bit of Edison format, but everybody's doing their own thing this weekend, trying to qualify for the next regional championship for that. So I came and play Yu-Gi-Oh! With my buddy Gerald, and it was fun.
Yeah, I'm glad our professional Magic player is able to do well and able to win a pod.
Hey, no matter where I go, I rock the Magic map, but I always have my Edison format synchros.
There you go.
I always have my OG Yu-Gi-Oh! Pin on it. So
there you go. All right. Oh, here's the mat to prove that he actually won. There you go. All right. See you next time.